All right. All right, guys, what is going on? What is Gucci gang? Chat. What's Gucci? Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are ready to learn something. Hope you guys are ready to learn something. ES was playing games today. Offered opportunity. Multiple opportunities. That I cannot deny. But she did not run straight for the lows. And that's okay. You know? Price does not always have to hit your final TP in order to be profitable, in order to have a green day. And that's pretty much the essence of what I'm going to cover today. You guys should be able to see that. Kind of. Trying to fit everything on. There we go. So that's what we'll discuss. We'll have some fun. And, you know, go from there. What's good? Scott, Jordan D, Roberto, G, Jork, Slowly, Laurent, Jay-Z, Tordy, Roger, Akil, Eric, Miguel. What up, what up? Yeah, I even sent a short on Stoic Society, actually at that wick. That wick right here. Gave you that wick entry, right? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But wick that, immediately lower. Immediately lower. Opportunity for green, right? The market making a new low. Short-term high. 11 o'clock, we don't really do a lot. And then 11:20, we get this little pop above that short-term high, just like we did in here, and I'll zoom in on that. And then immediately, 11:25, 11:30, pre-market low right here, back yet again into that consolidation. So personally, I wanted this imbalance here, this one. I wanted to see us trade into that and then go lower. Maybe even do that inside the macro. And the macro was like, nope. So, yeah, that's that. That is that, chat. But one of you, I forget who it was, and I think it was Scott or Mark. I don't know, dude. Yeah, it was Scott. And Chef and Tom that were in there early in the morning. Max was there as well. Julius was in there. Yeah, so one of you, I think it was Scott, had pointed out the lows, right? And then one of you also pointed out the lows way down here, and I'm like, yeah, those are clean. Those are very clean, Mr. Techno. Right? Or Mo Techno, however you say that. I just can't read. I already probably can't read English. So yeah, it's like, okay, we have clean lows down here. Wonderful. I think my least favorite thing about what we've done today was the way that we traded above that high. I am somebody who favors a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying? We'll just draw a wick on here for a second. I would much rather see something like that, or even something like that, right? Like, show me that there is some level of sweepage. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's what we get, bro. right? That's what we get. Not good, right? We don't want that. But I don't make the rules. And that was still 855. That was still a sweep. Wasn't a big sweep, but it was still a sweep. We trade lower, right? So what is that? Now we can drop down to the smaller time frame. I mean, I like the 5 minute, don't get me wrong, but I made a post already on Instagram. Oh, speaking of Instagram, I just crossed 13,000, by the way. I definitely appreciate that. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thank you. The phases of price. Now most of you already know the phases of price because we've been over that multiple times. We did a couple streams on it. There's a video in one of the playlists about it. And then I made an Instagram post, right? Phases of price. Over 1,000 likes. Really cool. Really cool. And on slide number 15 and 16, right? 15 is that V-shaped reversal. And slide 16 was the actual pointing out of the V. Oh, shit. Sorry, this is an A-shape. I have not woken up yet. Scratch that. Slide 13 is the A-shaped reversal. And then slide 14 is the actual letter A to show you the A-shaped reversal. See, I have such a high tolerance for caffeine, dude. It's like, don't ever get addicted to caffeine. It's terrible. All right, there's your A-shape. See that? You see that? Wow. Life-altering stuff here, folks. Absolutely elite ball knowledge here, right? We can all understand the letter A. We all learned our ABCs, right? Hell, A is the first letter of the alphabet. You don't get to V for a while. ABC. Are we going to get a B-shaped reversal? Probably not. Are we going to get a C-shaped reversal? No. But we do get an A-shape, right? So there's your A-shaped reversal at a macro that doesn't exist, according to the goobers. Pre-market high, right? So what's after the reversal? Reversal, retracement. What's after that? Expansion. Wow. The markets are different this year, bro. 2026 isn't like 2020 and 2021. Okay. You don't think we can go find A-shaped reversals, V-shaped reversals, market maker models in 2021 and 2020 and 2022 and 2023 and 2024 and 2025 and 2026 and even 2027? You don't think that's going to happen? You're stupid. Sorry. I told myself I wasn't going to get on that bullshit today, but how are the markets any different when they're still doing the same stuff we talk about? A-shaped reversal, retracement, right? What's after the retracement? Expansion. Okay. Is it going to go A-shaped reversal, retracement, expansion higher? Why would it do that? That's not what I told you it would do. That's not what the market usually does. Why would it do that? Why would it do that? We've got lows down here. Even if, okay, hear me out here. Even if we don't end up going down there, even if we don't do it, even if this is our low of day and we end up trading higher, okay, fine. But remember, this has already happened. In the morning time, a few hours ago, 3 hours ago, this is where price was. So the draw on price, what is it going to be drawn to? Liquidity and inefficiency. That's the only two things it trades into. It trades to and from. right? Law number 2, I think, or law, shit, whatever law it is. The market trades to liquidity and inefficiency. Now, we've already traded higher, higher, higher. We already printed an A-shaped reversal. And we have consolidation, low resistant lows. We have pre-market low here and here. And then now at 850, we have another one. Right? 850. I think. Sorry, 845. 850 is the macro that took us higher, right? But no one can ever time this shit. Yeah. So anyway, pre-market low. I mean, excuse me, equities open low, because this is now the lowest low between 8:30 and 9. Right? So you have equities open liquidity and then a pre-market low here. That's not really obvious. That one is. So you have that, this little rinky-dink low here, and then that one, these down here and down here. Right? So think about that. Remember that robbery we talked about? If you're going to rob somebody, you don't rob the poor. That doesn't work very well. You're going to go rob somebody for what? If they don't have anything. No, you got to rob some. Don't do this, but if you were hypothetically, right, would in a video game rob somebody, then you're going to go either to an upscale house or somebody that has more shit than you. Right? So think about that. Multiple pulls down here. We've already went higher and higher and higher. So the draw is going to be lower. So that is your manipulation. This is your low risk short. We cross 50% here. So this then becomes what? The first leg and potential second leg to go lower. That's why I called out shorts for you right there. First in for Stoic Society, right? Right there. That was the short. Okay. Right there. Bang. Gave it to you. Gave it to you. No charge either. You gotta fucking love that. So anyway, this is a premium imbalance, right? Just like it's labeled. So if we were, again, zoom out a little bit, take our whole thing here, and if you look at it, right here, right? Consolidation, accumulation, reaccumulation, A-shaped reversal. You can definitely see the A here. That's obvious. And then the low risk short, it's either going to be like here or obviously like a little bit higher than that. Okay, it's a drawing, it's a depiction. The map is not the territory. It's a concept, right? But it ain't perfect. Okay, it's just a conceptual, visual idea. So your low risk short is after that, and then distribution, redistribution, and then usually, not every time, but usually, right, we want that lower pricing for the original consolidation lows, right? So that is the framework. That's the roadmap. This shit is in order. You trade on the way down. I mean, you can short on the way up, yes, but if you want something that's low risk and high probability, you want to short when it is in a sell program. Because if you mistime shorting during the buy program, if you mistime it, you're going to get wrecked. Okay. So if that low at 73.75, even, but you usually don't see that, even, and then all the way up there to that manipulation, that rinky-dink manipulation, it's not a strong manipulation, but it's, you know, it's there. Okay. Then right here at 9:30 and 9:35, we trade below it, thus crossing 50%. So anything at that, ideally above it, is going to be a premium. Okay. So when you're looking at this, what's the easiest premium to look at? And yes, it is. Stoic Society is different than the Discord that we're in. The Discord that you guys are in, that is a paid Discord. That's only for YouTube members. Stoic Society is free for everybody. I think. So will there be liquidity above that or not anymore since it is manipulation, since it's within the first 30 minutes of equities open? I know I'm getting to your question late, Roger, but that there's a reason that I'm explaining it this way. The low risk short is always after manipulation, but what you have to realize is this may not be your trade. You might look at this and go, okay, this might be a reversal trade. Oops. This might be a reversal trade. This doesn't look like manipulation. We may end up taking this high and soup it. We might soup it. I don't want to be a part of that soup, right? So then the thought process is, okay, let's just wait then. Let's wait and see if it soups, or let's wait and see if it crosses 50%. Okay, this is where a lot of people who are impatient, this is where a lot of people who don't know what the fuck is going on are going to get upset. Because they're going to go, oh man, I thought about shorting and the market ripped lower. Now I'm not a part of it. Okay, hold your fucking horses, dude. Relax. Relax. Okay? The move is not over. If anything, that crossing of 50% is telling you that it wants to go lower. So immediately your eyes should go, okay, we crossed 50%. We did it again here. And as soon as that candle closed, what do we have here? We have these two up candles here. Now, to be fair, shit, man, look at the bodies on that. That's a 29-point range. We went from 74.20, 420, you can't escape it, I keep telling you that, up to 44, or excuse me, 74.49, right? So about 29 points. That's a large range, man. I don't know if I want to trade something like that. You know, that's too much. Is there anything that overlaps inside of that? And that is when you go, okay, let me take this off for a second. You have this, right? You have that as your imbalance. That would be wrong. Okay? That would be incorrect. There is a gap down right there. So, I know your mentor didn't teach you this. I know I did, right? You include that. Have to include that. So, it makes a difference because that 50% goes from 74.27 up to 74.28 and a quarter, right? This is our range. Now watch this, because this is where a lot of people, again, they still don't get it. Do not be afraid, as the Bible says, right? Do not be afraid. Do not be upset because you did not get this high up here, or because you did not get anything in here and the market now crossed 50%. There are still several things that must occur. You are not late. Okay? You're not late. It might feel that way in the beginning. It definitely did for me. But at the same time, you know, my ego may not be other people's ego. Mine might be a little bit stronger than most, I'd say. It's possible. But, you know, that's a personal issue, right? That's a personal issue. That's on me. That's not on the market. It's never on the market, okay? It's never on the market. It's on you. So, again, don't be discouraged you didn't get anything in here. Do not chase this, okay? As soon as we cross 50%, don't chase that. Because now you're going to short in a discount. Not ideal. Not until after we get back into a premium, right? So then what's happening here? Okay. Now I'll teach you a concept. Actually, well, I've taught this before. And it's basically the 1 2 3 formation. Now, the only difference is what I prefer. And again, the market doesn't give a fuck what I prefer. But what I prefer is, if we're going to do like a soup, right? That's going to be like one high and then a second one and then a third one. And that, 1 2 3. Like that, I like that. Okay? But we don't always have to do that. However, we do that right here. Can you see it? I'm trying to watch like live price too at the same time, but I want to make sure everybody can see this right here. Okay. What is the current location? I don't use that word very often, but what's the current location here? We're in a premium. How do we know we're in a premium? Because we're above 50%. This is a premium concept, right? This imbalance with the gap included, right? We stab into it to go lower. This is a 5-minute chart. So, 5 minutes, 10 minutes later, bang, comes up for that high, pulls off of it. This candle doesn't do anything. And then 10 o'clock, right? So what's happening at 10 o'clock? Again, don't miss this. Don't miss this. What is 10 o'clock? What's the difference between 10? What's the difference between 9:50, 9:55, and 10 o'clock? What's the difference? This should be easy. We already learned our ABCs, right? Okay, shit. Let's learn our clock, right? First time I saw a clock when I was like 4 years old, right? Or whenever you get into elementary school and they're like, all right, now we got to tell time, the shorthand, longhand, 1 through 12. I'm like, 12? How the fuck? I'm going to keep up with 12 numbers? We got the hour hand and the minute hand. Oh, shit, that's too much. Miss Reynolds was my kindergarten teacher. Miss Reynolds. What the fuck, Miss Reynolds? Seriously. 1 through 12, that's too much. I just learned how to spell my own name. Please, can we not do this right now? It's too much. We need a digital clock, Miss Reynolds. Now, this is the 90s, so there's a different time period. But anyway, the difference is 10 o'clock. Thank you, slowly. Vadu, welcome, even though you're late. It's all good. 10 o'clock is the open of a new hour. Right. So what do we do with that? Oh, shit, I don't know, John. I don't know. What do we do with it? Well, what have I taught you? What have I taught you to do with it? If this is the concept, right? Whether it be, it doesn't matter, weekly, daily, hourly, session, it could be a 1 minute, whatever. Who cares? The point is, if we are set to go lower, then we want to do what? Open. We can initially trade lower, but at a certain point, probably within the first like 15 minutes of that hour, it's likely to trade above its open. You see that? You see how that works? Shorting above the open and then slamming lower, right? Okay. So what's right here? 10 o'clock opens, trades up above those two highs. Where can it not get to? Where can it not get to? Can't get to the upper end. I mean, it's in the upper half, but I'm saying it cannot reach. Its wick cannot get up there, is what I'm saying. The wick can't do that. Okay? Can't do it. So that right there is weakness. And then guess what? Your boy punched in the short. Here you go. Short that bitch. Immediately. Lower. Short-term high at 1040. little bit lower again, 11 o'clock, no big deal. We come up, same thing here. We wick in it a few times. We got some short-term highs here and right here, right? How far can price go above a high? Somebody tell me. How far can price go above a high? How far can price go below a low? What's the answer I've always given you? I've always given it to you. What is it? What it be, Chad? Okay. If you don't know this, now you know. How far can price go above a high or a set of highs? The next available, technically inefficiency. I've always used imbalance, but it's technically the next available inefficiency. In this case, that is an imbalance, right? Where can price not go to? The high end of it. The high end of it. Where do I place my stop loss, John? Where does price? Okay, let me back the fuck up so you don't miss this. Where should I put my stop loss, John? Where should I put my stop loss, John? Where should I put my stop loss, John? Where should I put my stop loss? Where should I put my stop loss? Immediately lower. So on this short, right? Opportunity, because technically when I sent it, shit, I made TP1 down here. Okay, I'm like, oh fuck that, we're swinging for the fences. It's my nature, dog. It's my nature. But for those of you that know what's going on, a new low would be a partial, and a new low here would also be a partial. Because like today so far, I don't know about the second half of the day. We're in the middle of the range. This, to me, this could go either way. I don't fucking know. But price does not always get to your final TP. It doesn't always go for the lows. Okay. NQ, arguably NQ was a much better short. Right? Much better short. Okay. See that? See that 855 manipulation during a macro? Right? 855 for NQ is here. Same time frame, 5 minute. They say there's no perfection in trading, right? But I taught you the immediate rebalance. That candle's low is 29,356 and a quarter. That candle's high is 356 and a quarter. But there's no perfection in trading, right? You're a fucking idiot. Okay? Immediate rebalance perfectly. 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 Even though they say it's not possible, right? Okay. It ain't possible for you. Doesn't mean it ain't possible for others. Okay? Immediate rebalance. This imbalance on the way lower. We don't really have a gap on the way down. That I can't really tell. But I'm getting old, Chad. I can't fucking see. Maybe, maybe not. But if it's that hard to see, maybe it's not there. All right? Anyway, imbalance. Can't get to the upper half. Small retracement. And then immediately that low and that one. And then eventually sinks for essentially the same low that I was targeting for ES. So ES wasn't the best short. NQ was. It is what it is, man. You know? I told you I don't always get it right. And so in today's case, right? Like, so when I sit down later, okay, it'll be at the end. I could do it now, but I don't think I'm going to re-enter this. Every fiber of my being wants me to short this market for the continuation lower. I've already been stopped out in profit, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But anyway, whenever I do decide to sit down and journal today, it's going to be like, okay, what did you do right? Shorting on the sell side of the curve. You know, sent out that idea above the hourly open. Beautiful. Stop loss placement was fucking fantastic because my trailed stop was at the high end of that imbalance, and that didn't get tagged, and then we went lower. That shit was fucking elite. I actually had the title of the stream called that. I was gonna call it elite stop loss placement, and then I changed it at the last minute. But my trailed stop was at the high end of that. Didn't get stopped out. Then we went lower. I got stopped out on the way up. It is what it is. But, you know, that's going to be what I have to write. Okay, what did you get right? This, and this. What could you have done better? What could you do better next time? Well, NQ was the better short. But I didn't short NQ or like even MNQ, right? Just because at 10 o'clock, right? At 10 o'clock, NQ was already way down here. Right there. Right? So if I'm looking at this and going, okay, NQ is probably going to go for that low. Right? But I'm looking at ES like, well, this one's in a premium though. And we still have those lows down here. So that was the internal thought process. That was the justification for going for ES, because to me, ES had like more room for opportunity, if that makes sense. So that was the reason that I chose ES over NQ. NQ had already done most of this. We're still in a discount. We're not in a premium any longer. So even though there was opportunity there, I wanted like more than that. Does that make sense? But yeah. So my point is, how far can price go above a high? The next inefficiency. We don't have a gap here, so this would be the imbalance. So as soon as we come off of that next candle, you could short. You could short inside that imbalance, or you could short the candle right after that. Or you can go into a smaller time frame. See if there's anything in there. Not really. Oh no, I lied. I don't try to do that. But these up candles here get traded through right there. There's your shift in the state delivery on a 1 minute time frame. See that? Look at that. That's a short right there. Immediately lower. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. Everything about this is beautiful. There's not an ugly thing on this fucking chart. Now, if we go over to Dow Jones, that's a different story. This whole thing is horrendous. But ES and NQ, this is so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Manipulation, A-shaped reversal, low risk short as the retracement, expansion lower. That crossing of 50% is your indication that we're probably going to continue lower. Are we going to short on the way down? Ideally, no. Ideally, no. The market usually is going to come back into a premium. Okay? The algorithm is going to take price back into a premium. Not for you. Not for me. For the interbank traders. For the smart money. For the actual smart money traders. Okay? When the market does this kind of stuff, and does it again here too, and here, like, let me take everything off, okay? Because I really want you to get this. To me, like, I used to call the market sassy when I was like, okay, it's being sassy today. You know, like sometimes women can just be sassy. You know what I mean? This is the shit I'm talking about. That high, right? And then you see it again here. You get 1, 2, 3 highs and then bang, lower. Same thing here. Higher, second time, third time, lower. All these highs get taken here. So it's like the market consistently keeps, and here's that fucking Christmas tree I keep talking about. Right? Manipulation, lower, short, distribution, right? It's like a little 1, 2, 3 right there and right there. We don't get it here, but it still takes multiple highs to go lower. Do you guys see that? That is also like a heavy indication that we're bearish. Every time price goes higher, it gets immediately sent lower. Every time it goes higher, immediately sent lower. Struggles to get higher, immediately sent lower. That is a bearish market. And arguably, this to me is also a high resistant liquidity run. Because it's not doing it fast. It's slow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, let me grab some stops. All right, now I'm going to go lower. Let me grab some stops. All right, now I'm going to go lower. And that can be frustrating if you are expecting a smooth, clean run below the lows. It doesn't do that today. So, again, to me, this is bearish. The only way I'd be wrong on that is if this was our manipulation, right, for NQ to go higher and for this to just remain open, like keep those lows open, even though we stabbed into this consolidation 3 times already. 3 fucking times we've done it. 3 times we did it. How many times did Peter or Judas betray Jesus? You know, it's like, how many times, bro? Before it finally just gives up and goes for the lows. So, but anyway, like hopefully that guy, or damn, I can't fucking talk to him. I did that on my story the other day too. Hopefully, guys, that gives you something to study, something to look at, something to review. You know, you're going to take good trades if you can buy in a buy program and short in a sell program. Okay? If you mistime it, or if you chase it, or if you get it wrong, yeah, you're going to take a loss. But if there's one thing that beginner traders and even intermediate traders, for those of you that have been here for a while, and I've said this a lot over the years, please, 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 okay? If this is you, do not be upset that you're not shorting near the highs. It's okay to short in there, like the trade I sent out today. It's okay to short in here to go lower there. That's still an opportunity. Remember that 1 minute I showed you in here? Shift into stay delivery and then back into it to go lower. That's still opportunity, period. Need not go for the lows, even though I still think it could, but it might not. So that, you know, that's really it, unless you guys have questions. The markets don't always deliver to the final TP. They're still going to deliver to pools of liquidity, right? There's even some lows down here too, like these two. That one and that one slightly higher. That got traded into already. See what I mean? So where I could have done better as well is I could have partialed at these lows. I probably could have done that. I didn't want to. Because I'm like, no, those lows are too clean. They're too clean. So that I fumbled. But again, I do not win every trade. Every trade is not a bang 1 to 10, you know, crazy ass shit. Okay. That's not every trade. But good trading is shorting in a sell program and either taking partials or taking partials and moving stops. So you're reducing risk, you're eliminating risk. And I think the final, or might have been here, for that Stoic Society trade was here. So like it was a stop out and profit on that. So that was the short, this was the stop out and profit. So again, I mean, this to me does seem like a decent re-entry. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to take what I got and be done. And that's hard to do sometimes, man. That's hard to do sometimes. So we went over market maker models, right? Potential sell model here. High resistant day though, not a easy, clean, you know, easy day. It's not an easy day. We talked about the A-shape reversal. We talked about the one of the formulas, right, that goes in order, the A-shape reversal, retracement expansion, right? You see that here. We talked a little bit on stop loss placement. I tried to, like, you know, give you a little wink here and there on, you know, where should your stop go? Where should your stop be? So you could definitely study that, backtest that. We talked a little bit on, like, the shift in a steady delivery. We talked about the stages, how they're always in order. They're never not out of order. Or, I don't know what I just said. They're never out of order. They're always in order. We talked about premium and discount. We talked about the crossing of 50%. Premium concepts, discount. I didn't really see any discount concepts down here, but, you know, premium is going to be 50% above. Discount's going to be 50% and lower. I think that's really about it. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything at all? Did we go over something that I did not just mention? Man, this imbalance. Do you guys remember the first Spider-Man movie? I think it was the first one. And there was a train that was fixing to get derailed, and Spider-Man, like, went into the front of the train and then shot his webs and was trying to hold the train back. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The train scene. He's holding the train back. That's this imbalance right here, dude. We trade into it here, lower, here, lower, here, lower, here, lower. This imbalance is, I think, who is that? McGuire? Who's holding back the train? That's right here, dude. This is a nasty imbalance right now. That thing is stupid strong right here. That's incredible. Can y'all see that? Like, no shit. That gap right there up to there. Like, look at that. That's strong, dude. Yeah, new concept unlocked. The Spider-Man imbalance. Yeah. If a concept holds 3 times or more, yeah, that's the Spider-Man imbalance, I guess. We're holding this inversion as well here. We're just stuck between multiple concepts. So, I guess if you guys don't have anything else, then we'll just cut it here. Drop a 1 if you guys learned something today. Or if at least you enjoyed the stream. We got 60 people on here now, which is higher than our normal, like, 40 to 50. That's pretty cool. Chat's member only today. It's usually member only. But even if, right, even if you don't become a member, you won't be able to get into the chat very often. But my YouTube is still free. The live streams are still free as well. So you're still going to be able to get value. But, all right, I guess we'll just shut it down here then. Y'all be good, be blessed. Don't forget the 48 Laws of Power is our book of the month for this month and next month. Today's the 18th, so you should be on law number 18. If you're not, then, I don't know, jump off a bridge or something. Catch up, read number 18, because tomorrow's number 19. And the 48 Laws of Power is a good book to read. And I think you should read it. So, I will see y'all same time, same place tomorrow on the 19th.